Good morning. Wanted to talk about something today. Let's do this here. Mute the phone. Mute the phone. I doubt anybody will come in here. Got to love it. Get some people in here. Jonathan, one thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up there, Jonathan. Oh, we got Clyde, Salty Pirate, Big Tex. I'll tell you what, common sense has disappeared. So, I show up at this receiver, and it's a food place, so they're extremely worried about the COVID world, you know. And of course, you know, the security guards are wearing the masks, you know, which is appropriate. They're not wearing gloves, but you know, we've already talked about how people don't wear gloves properly, which is true. And so I hand the guy my license, and he's sitting there filling out this form, right? Now, I have this habit. I have my wallet in my hand whenever someone has my license, so I don't forget. And so he's taking forever. This guy must have just, you know, struggled a little bit in school or something. And after about 10 minutes of this, he hands me a form that I need to fill out. And I go, yeah, I could have been filling this out while you're filling this out. And he's like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Meanwhile, there's like 58 cars behind me, people trying to get in on their shift, you know. And so here's their new COVID procedure. I have paperwork in my hand. I have to take said paperwork, put it in a tray in the office, and go and wash my hands. They have to see me wash my hands. And then I come out. What do you think I have to do after that? I have to pick up said paperwork again and hand it to him. If my hands were dirty before the paperwork, my hand washing doesn't automatically clean the paperwork. Meanwhile, the driver that has the door that I'm waiting on, he's wearing a mask in his truck, but he's not wearing it over his face. He's wearing it on his chin. Apparently there's somewhere that someone said that you have to wear your face mask on your chin, right? So I go, and his chalk, the way he chalked his wheels is like we're gonna okay, so this is your wheel, right? If you don't want it to roll forward, you put chalk there, right? Well, he's got it there, so it'll still roll forward. Meanwhile, I had to come in. There was a night driver who was trying to squeeze his trailer into a space that wasn't trailer wide. So I finally had to, like, after 10 minutes of watching him fumble through that, I told him, hey, you know, I don't think you're going to fit in there. He's like, oh, go ahead, pass me. I'm like, all right. So I just went on. So he was going to park next to a Schneider trailer. So if you see white stripes on an orange trailer, they're bigrigceo, then you know what happened. And I think that's the worst part. One of the worst parts about this whole COVID world, as bigrigceo puts it. Apparently, Ozark is having to redo his dock because he didn't know how to back into his dock. Well, he might be done. He might get to see me back. Maybe. Not sure what he's doing, to be honest with you. And is the lack of common sense. If masks are effective, then wouldn't we be able to just open things up all the way? If you have a city where it's the law to wear a mask, did you guys see that press conference that the mayor from Chicago did? Man, she sounded like a oh, what do you call it? She sounded like big ruler. Hey, if you are not walking around with your mask, you will be arrested. And it's weird because you got to look at the sick numbers of the states that are relaxed, and then you got to look at the sick numbers of the states that have this stranglehold on the whole situation. And I'll get to the comments here, but it's just we're doomed. We're doomed as a society. Because the only thing that will get you through something is common sense, being calm about being able to think clearly. And when you see city and state leaders have completely lost their mind, and no one knows any, like I worked at a nursing home for a little bit, so I know the what Salty was talking about with the gloves. I know how to take the gloves off correctly. And I have a person that worked at a Subway that told me that you know how you order a Subway, right? You go to Subway and everybody's like, all right, they wash their hands and they put those flimsy plastic gloves on. Ask anybody who works at Subway. And when you wear the same pair of gloves all day, like let's say you work at, convenience store, you wear the same pair of gloves, you're still, touching everybody's money, you're still scratching your nose, you're still, picking your ears, whatever. Now you just don't have to wash your hands every time you do it. But you're still spreading. Now, I'm not walking around being a germaphobe. I'm not doing that either. But these measures that they're taking, like pick up this dirty bottle, put it down, go wash your hands. All right, now hand me the bottle. Pick up said dirty bottle, hand it to me. I'm sure somewhere in a meat plant, there's those kind of weird measures being taken. All right, let's go with the comments here. I'll do this on the other phone. It'll be easier. So, I'm not trying to be complaining this morning, but I just, when you get three, we don't have common sense, you know, events in a row, kind of gets to you. Well, that's why I'm, seeing somebody else's going on here. Alrighty, we got Big Houston, Salty Pike, Yukon, Grafton, Big Tex Trucking, Jonathan Wheeler, Alan Paquette. Can you imagine what it's going to be like come September, October, when cold season really starts? Where's your paperwork sitting underneath UV light? No, it's sitting in a craptastic metal, like something you get at Office Depot. There's no UV light about it. Scott Leckleader, I'm gonna wear a hairnet on my face, see if that passes. Oh, that's funny. I have a car that says mask poses a mental, physical risk to my health and safety, and that denying me service for not having one is a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. There you go, Yukon. It's not a law anywhere. Well, the treat you look at what the Chicago mayor gloves and masks are like warranties, a false sense of securities. And that's the thing. See, okay, so let's look at the mental aspect. You kind of touched on that, right? Now, if I'm mowing the lawn, sanding some Mondo, wearing a mask is not a big deal. And there's no mental aspect other than I don't want to breathe in this crap because it'll make me cough a lot. And I used to work with Bondo and fiberglass and aluminum shavings and the whole 9 yards. So wearing a mask is not different for me. And never had to wear a mask. And now you're going grocery shopping. Number one, that's going to be really weird to you. Number two, that's going to create this anxiety. That's going to create this okay, there's germs everywhere. The state is telling me I have to wear a mask to go buy a gallon of milk and if you want to kill the immune system, don't give yourself any outside air, and if you and make sure you got this mental thing, because stress lowers your immune system. I've gone grocery shopping several times. When I put on the motorcycle mask, it makes me feel cool, so it's not as anxiety, right? And you can feel the tension in the public. You can feel the tension in the store. Now, Asian culture, they're pretty much accustomed to it. But we as Americans, and the other thing is you don't realize how much you rely on looking at somebody's lips whenever you're talking to them. You don't realize how much we rely on facial expressions. But to create this added stress, just to go to the store, just to walk down the street with a mask on. Like, if I'm in the middle of nowhere, outside, that's probably the best thing I can be doing. And you have to wear a mask. Hey, this little bit of fresh air you're going to get, whatever. There's no more common sense. It's like this whole freight thing. There's no demand. Rates are down because there's no demand. Trucks are going out of business because there's no demand. Brokers are losing 60-80% of their customer base because there's no demand. It's supply and demand. That is what drives our economy. That's what drives our industry. And people are freaking out because they don't understand the basics of supply and demand. If I'm the only person in the farmer's market that got, say, oranges, and there's a high demand for oranges because everybody's wanting to make, I don't know, orange juice, guess what? I could charge whatever the heck I want for those oranges because I'm the only one with the damn oranges. And I'm seeing the smartest people freak out on the fact that this is a simple supply and demand. There's no conspiracy. There's no, targeted attack of trucking companies. The brokers didn't have some kind of secret meeting and say, all right, let's do what we can to put every trucking business out of business. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. Are some of the prices that the brokers are wanting ridiculous? Absolutely. But again, lack of common sense tells them that, hey, maybe a trucking company can't survive off 80 cents a mile. Lugnut says just using to wear a mask in a store. See, what's going to happen is there's going to be, everybody's all like feeling warm and fuzzy because we're going back to our restaurants and theaters are open and we're going to go back to normalcy, right? Give me back my Golden Corral. Give me back my Chinese buffet, and give me back my movie theater, and but you have half of America that thinks that this is a big conspiracy and this is full of it, and then you got the other half, the other part of America that you got people being angry for you wearing a mask. And you got people being angry for you not wearing them sense anymore. And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem. In the beginning, what the CDC say? Oh, you don't need to wear a mask. Wearing a mask is ineffective. So don't go out and panic by masks because our healthcare workers are going to need them. Now they go, maybe you should wear a mask, and we're going to charge you $40 for a small box at the convenience store for them because you can't find them anywhere. James G, what's up? Good morning. My truck and live face, they get more germs on their hands whenever they touch their mask. Exactly. Don't touch your face, but you got to rearrange the mask. Common sense was long gone before the virus. Absolutely, Donnie Luke. Illinois has agreed if we get 14 straight days of decline, we'll open up. If masks get us there, all for it. Look, I have no issues with the government telling us that we have to wear masks or some kind of face covering. I'm all for that because you obviously know that there are people that are sick that are going to go out in the world. So I'm all for, everybody wearing masks. TJ, what's up? Any breaks done on the trailer, James? Well, your trailer's what, a year older than mine? Red Pepper, good morning. And that was the argument, James, that Best, that was the argument that someone made a month ago when they, I've got a friend of mine that might go out of business because he was told he couldn't open his business. And he's like, well, if masks are effective, now obviously restaurants a little different because you got to take the mask off to eat and all that. But that's the other aspect. Okay, so we're all desperate for these restaurants to open. The majority of the time when you catch a cold or an illness, it's going to be either at work or from a restaurant. Facts. So you got the guy who's making minimum wage, works 2 jobs to barely make ends meet because he was told to have, the new Dodge Challenger was a cool thing. So he's paying, that huge, car payment. So he's working 2 jobs because he's got to, keep up with the Joneses. So he's working 2 jobs and he has a cold and he has to work. He just, and he's the one in charge of serving your food. People are fighting for the right to be able to go to the restaurant. I think during a pandemic, restaurant would be the last place I would want to go, to be honest with you. Nomadic Trucker, good morning. Trailer plate light. Jose, there you go. If you don't want to be sick, wear the mask. If you don't want to take the chance, don't wear. In Kentucky Fried Chicken use their buffet. What they don't realize is the best thing for immune system, which is the only way that you can fight this virus, is good diet, exercise, water, sunshine, fresh air. But no, we told our kids, stay in your room, stay in the house. Don't, there are Facebook videos all over the place of cops showing up at people's houses because they let their kids go next door to play. Does that not sound like Orwellian to you? Does that everybody's so worried about getting sick, they don't realize that, hey, we are literally telling people that their kids cannot go outside and play. And that is what I'm focusing on. I've made measures. I wear masks when I feel it's necessary, and and I wash my hands more, and I'm trying, acting like everybody's got a cold. That's how I've handled this, right? Meanwhile, I see suffering, the economy suffering, and I'm seeing things that are going back to normal. And people are just like, I gotta wear my mask, and we'll get everything back. Everything will be fine. No, it won't be. Oh, it's like Mr. I can't chalk my wheels is pulling out. Wish there was some kind of like hat thing that you can wear for the phone, so you guys can come with me. You guys want to come with me to back this truck up? We can do that. The parks are not sanitized. Kids are filthy. How do you develop immunity? How do you the worst thing you can do to your kid is to sanitize every single thing around it. Let them play in the dirt. Let them play in the mud. Punch them in the face. they need to fall and scrape their knee and run around and toughen up. Gotta love yard move. You poor Schneider guys without your yard move. Not that I ever in danger of running my whole 11, but So it's just 65057. All right. Rule number 1 when backing: open your window, because you're going to hear it before you feel it. Do you ever wonder, maybe you don't wonder, why the trend of your pants almost falling down is still a thing? I don't understand that. Especially when you're a truck driver and all you got to do is get out to close your doors. Do you really think that you're a badass because your pants are falling down? I don't understand that at all. bigrigceo. After OTD dip in ice cold slime, I'm 100% certain he's immune to COVID-19. That's what I'm talking about. Dive in a green pool, man. You'll be immune to anything if you survive, right? Yeah, let's do 80 miles an hour. 4 ways. Yeah, don't let the phone fall out of the. Yeah, we'll just do this. I don't need to see my gauges. Alright. Gauges are for suckers. You guys can see me fumble around with this backing business. what I forgot. Open doors. Yeah, all right. Now we're cooking with gas. Look at that skull. All right. That graffiti artist is angry. All right, we've already hit our pivot point. Now we got it. These guys are going to have me unloaded fairly quickly. Like some of these places, the lines are right on the money, but then other places they're not. That makes you wonder what's going on. You guys come with me. This is how the guy had, number one, that's the most pathetic wheel chalk ever. This is how he had this wheel chalk, yeah, like that. So funny. You always want to do a little bit in front. We already got a red light, we're already going. Yeah. All right. It's chilly this morning. Buzzed out my heater again. Oh, let's see. Red chicken, you're in the way. They're already unloading me. All right. I think we're done. Turn that off. Change on duty, comment, customer unload. I will not be going over the proper way to do the logbook thing because everybody does it different. And then manifest, always update it to empty, which we are almost. And I could go to a truck stop and see if I can't find a shorty for today because I got a dentist appointment tomorrow. Whoops. I screwed up. I know, this is exciting, right? Oh, the life of an idiot. Okay, see. I forgot to save it. The day in the life of a trucking non-genius. All right. Digging this high-tech angle. Provost, you're silly. I'll be out next week. Don't care what the rates are. Provost, that's kind of where I had to be. But I'm seeing some trend lines on DAT that's saying that I think that we did hit rock bottom. So I think things are starting to progress up a little bit. Just pull them all. James, it might get up to that. Some of the graffiti I see out there is amazing. I'm not much for it. But as kind of an artist guy, I know it takes some time. Like 2 to 4 nights complete. No, I bet you whoever did that did it like in 10 minutes. You haven't backed the trail in 3 years, so you're not missing anything. Epic steering column shot. But yeah, it's getting to the point where you just gotta like take the crap pill and swallow it and go. So I agree with you, Provost. I think the last 3 nights I was at home, I had some anxiety going on. Because I just got to go to work at some point, you know? If not for your business, for your sanity. Amazing, you can get $1.40 out of Florida right now. I need to get vents in my trailer. I need to get that done. YouTube with attitude, what's up? Anyways, I thought I'd just rant about common sense and the lack of. That beer is respect. I've been growing mine since November. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is 2 years, I believe. It's funny. I'll run into someone that has been growing their beer for 10 years and it's like half the length. I think it's all just depends on, you know, your genetics, I guess. I don't know. Why is it called common sense when it's not all that common? That is the question of the hour there, Mr. Provost. That's the problem. You know, middle ground. That's, you know, far right, far left, you know, religious nut, atheist, you know, there's no middle ground. Middle ground is where the answers are. You take the best from every situation and you make it yours. I'll rustle up some more loot, maybe take another week or so off. James Best, I think here's where your career change should be. If you look at the last 3 short loads that I've done, you made more money by diving into a petri dish than I did, or about the same amount of money that I netted for three days of, or 3 small loads, right? So I think that your career path should be, what kind of stuff will people pay me to do on YouTube? I think that's where I might go. Like kind of like a truth or dare, but with super chats on YouTube. I think that's genius. What do you guys think? I get 10% since I thought of this idea. All right, TJ, enjoy your home time. Yard stream, do a drinking yard stream. That look good. You're gonna call me today, Provost, after golf, or James Best? Sammy took a local chop. Yeah, I thought that was a joke at first, but you know, I've heard of people that have their own authority. What they'll do is they'll just park the truck, get their insurance minimalized, and then go do day cab until the rates come back up. I've heard many people do that. Unfortunately, if I wanted to do something like that, Jeff would have to terminate my contract, then I'd have to re-sign on. So we don't do that. It was miserable and I didn't get enough. I should have done better math. LOL. Oh, okay, me? Thank you, Provost. I look forward to that phone conversation. Oh, we're gonna write this out. We'll see what happens. I have this other weird thing. We actually like driving a truck. Still, despite all the lack of common sense around me, despite all the new COVID world, nothing's free in COVID world. But so just getting out there and doing it, you know. There are dispatch carriers that only pay $1 or 98 cents a mile plus fuel surcharge out there, and they're still doing okay, right? Bob G, what's up? Good morning. I was talking to a friend of mine in the excavation business, and he offered me a dump truck job. I would, that'd be kind of cool. Never driven a dump truck. Oh, I'm breaking a green light. See how quick they are here? All right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for watching me rant about stupid shit and common sense, people. Whatever happened to it? Later.